politicians or being representative. I mean, there are different work that we do with them every day, and the potential there is huge. But the need for exposure is actually something that we are looking at, because when you have a great talent within you, you need exposure. One, you need to meet people like you, or people even more than you, who can guide you towards succeeding, right, or achieving that goal. So the potential is high. We have business women there, women who are capable of even becoming politicians in the community as well.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So now that the event is over, what is next on your agenda?
The next on our agenda is seeing how best we can do this once every month, and getting to more businesses, more politicians, inviting some of our government officials over to talk to us, inviting people who are contributing to the society and making an impact, inviting them over to talk to us. So basically right now we are talking to all our women groups to get involved with the process so that we can make this a very big event, not just something small.
Oh, okay, yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
She's Yasa Lavla, head Noble Ladies Network. Nolan, the network over the weekend hosted a wine and networking event, and of course they had the likes of the police inspector generals there. They had the Liberia Business Association represented, and of course they had all the people there as well to see what the girls are able to do, forge partnership moving forward, and see what level of support they can garner from these kinds of events that they plan to host every month.
You're listening to Coffee Break, a public service broadcast of the United Nations mission in Liberia.
Or Hill Liberia Hill. Yes, man. A musical master. Man. The whole heart good and how blessed it is. My brother to do it together in unity. Devil to keep the unity of the spirit in the bonds of peace. My man.
We are one people, God's big family. We are one people, and we need each other. God's big family. We are one people, and we need each other. It doesn't matter what your tribe may be or political party. It's time for reconciliation. It doesn't matter who you really are. Show me love.
Just show me love.
And I'll show you love.
Okay.
We can make it right. If we try. Yeah. One people. God's big family. We are one people. Yeah. And each other. Baby, need each other. Yeah. God's big family. Yeah. We are one people, and we need each other. Yeah. Through the stormy night, deep down in the valley, way up on a mountain top, together we struggle to survive. Yeah. Sing with me.
Well, that's it on this edition of Coffee Break on UNMIL Radio. Thanks for tuning in. Do join us on tomorrow, same time. By the grace of God, we'll be here My name is Eva from wishing a pleasant day, and of course, go out there, celebrate the independence, show love to one another, share as much as you can what you have in your house. If somebody next door is hungry, they don't have food, please share with them. We're Liberians, we love to share, even though, we got some bad people among us, but, we love to share. So please share with everyone there. Please share with your neighbor.
Official voice of the United Nations in Liberia, 91.5 FM.
Liberia, it's your day. It's time to party. This is real Payne. Doing it for y'all. I am proud to be a Liberian, and I don't care what anybody will say. I will jump and sing and shout hooray, 'cause today is our Independence Day. Liberia, oh our day. Liberia, we are free. Liberia, no more war. Liberia, Liberia, our day. Liberia, we are free. 'Cause today is our day. Liberia now my country, now my motherland, land I be where them bomb me. That's why I started the hustling. So if you don't know me, don't judge me. We don't want gunshots, we don't want po-po. All we want is equal rights and peace to make our dough. Hey, yeah, Liberians, you and me, Liberians, me and you. Let's live in harmony and peace, who prevail. Do what is right and good and take our children back to school. Hard work and determination and we will fail. Economically, strategically, physically, we can make a difference automatically. Let's live in unity, all for one and one for all. I'm proud to be a Liberian, and I don't care what anybody go say. I will jump and sing and shout hooray, 'cause today is our Independence Day. Liberia, oh our day. Liberia, we are free. Liberia, no more war. Liberia, Liberia, our day. Liberia, we are free. 'Cause today is our day. How long will you cry? Tell me how long? Rise up, forget about the past. Is dead and gone. Don't hate your brother for you're capable of doing wrong. All we have to do is join hands and sing this song. We are free. Liberia, we are free. Forever we are free. Time with me, oh my baby, and if you get narrow, fire to my pa, remember, Bombaga with it. Are you ready? Bombaga with it. People, are you ready? Independence Day, jump and shout to rain. School face, boy, I am proud to be a Liberian, and I don't care what anybody will say. I will jump and sing and shout hooray, 'cause today is our Independence Day. Liberia, oh our day. Liberia, we are free. Liberia, no more war. Liberia, Liberia, our day. Liberia, we are free. 'Cause today is our day. My people, today is your day. It's time to party. Time to shake that stress off. Forget about the past, it's dead and gone. Now sing with me, let's go. Say whoa, say whoa, yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, put on and say, hey, hey, put on and say, hey, hey, put on and say, hey. Now what's your body, shake your body, shake your body. Now shake your body, shake your body. So bend down, whoa. Liberia, bend down, oh, bend down, oh, Liberia, bend down. face Ajay. Liberia, oh our day. Liberia, we are free. Liberia, no more war. Liberia, Liberia, our day. Liberia, we are free. Today is our day. Liberia, oh our day. Liberia, we are free. Liberia, no more war. Liberia, Liberia, our day. Liberia, we are free. Today is our day.
It is hard to forget the past, but we can never move forward if we keep looking back. So we appeal for everyone to let go of conflict, let go of the past, forgive ourselves and each other, and let us move forward together. When we do this, we embrace the forgiveness, the joy, peace, and love of God as it is supposed to be experienced.
A message from the Peace Ambassador of Liberia.
Our children learn by watching us. They will learn tolerance only if we are tolerant. I'm Felicia Rashad, and I'd like to encourage you to teach your children to value others despite their differences, and to let them know they can fight discrimination and intolerance. Make sure they know that discrimination is not just wrong, it's illegal. Teach tolerance, because open minds open doors for all our children.
UNMIL Radio, this is where peace begins.
I'm talking to Liberians.
My people, you are welcome to the government team. Today on the government team, we'll be talking to the big man for one group they call Accountability Lab. His name is Lawrence Yellow, and he will be telling us some of the things they can do and some of the work they're doing around the country. Today is the birthday of Liberia, so we say happy birthday to the Liberian people. Lawrence, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Justin. It's always happy to be here in the studio and also to talk to our people.
Okay, Lawrence, when you say Accountability Lab, they say you the big man. What do you mean by Accountability Lab?
Our organization, what we get, and what we try to do is to help people to do what is good, and to help people come up with solutions, things that we can do to make sure that our people are able to get their life improve, and benefits that they're supposed to get in the community come to them. And that's what we've been working on across the country. So we use different ways of servicing people. And what we do in the lab, when you go to the lab, the BB science thing, the only thing you can go do there is to find solutions. So our own is to help people find solutions for good things. Okay.
The other day, I hear you talking about citizen journalist celebration. What that want me?
What we're trying to do with that one is, they get the journalist people play they call the press union. So they want who the journalists, then they get one big program for you, because y'all went to school to be journalists, y'all did all the learning there, y'all can be on air all the time, but every citizen too can be able to report some things that happen in their community. So we've been working with some high school students to talk about things like development things in their community. Maybe the people they're not cleaning their community, maybe some of them going to their schools. Parents they can be paying money in the school, but sometimes the school and the children, some of the school they can't get the children the thing. So now the children pay for tissue, and the parents paying for the tissue. The children not getting it. When they go out, their paper, their sheet, anything they can use. So children have been reporting on that. We've been doing it now for 2 years. So what we're trying to do is citizen journalists in the world is getting bigger, because people can go on Facebook, they can read stories, things are happening to them, they can take pictures and put it up. But what we're trying to do is make it structural. So we'll be some of the young people have been doing it for like 2 years. Some of them reporting on sports, some of them reporting on health, some people reporting on, like for example, sex for grades in school. And one group of students reported on that from Kakata. So all these things happening, and our own role as organization is to help them just celebrate them and show them to Liberia that you can be citizen journalists and you can do good and showcase that good things are happening in your community, and that's what we've been doing. And this one will be coming up on the 18th of August, and we'll be doing that celebration in Monrovia.
Okay, the citizen journalist celebration that you're coming to in August. I want honor from you now. You're like go all around the country, like only Monrovia.
No, we in 2 counties now, and this coming year we're going to 5 different counties. So to add the 2, it will be 7 counties. We're taking time now. You know, we're small organization. We don't let the government work and be spread all over the place, and because they own the BB people. But we're taking time to go there. So first we in Monrovia County, and we in Magibi. And if other 5 counties we're going Nimba, we're going Grand Bassa, we're going Bon County. We're also going in Cape Mount and Bomi County. So the counties that we are going in, we're going there to help students to be able to tell their own story, because the thing is, citizen journalists can tell the stories, and the people who making the story, when they tell them the story is heavier than when it's just being told by other people when they are now the one not telling the story. So I mean, it's a difficult thing for you to get a young person using their cell phones, because we also teach them also things they call app. And you know, the phone, you can see some small thing in the phone where people can be using how to do Facebook they call it an app too, you know. So they call it Spriggs. So the children can be able to get voice recording, and you know, talk to people. So we got many of those voice recording, and on that day we'll be playing some of the voice recording. We'll be playing some of the way they can go out and get stories, pictures that we took from there, and you know, just to tell people that you can get on Facebook, not all the time to talk bad thing about your country, but get on Facebook too and try to do something good, say the good things that are happening in Liberia. Now they, you know, they get on that thing they call Days 2 is Liberia. Only bad thing they count that thing. Yeah, but you can say Days 2 is Liberia and put the good things in there. So let's try to balance the story.
Okay. So now the way you're getting ready for the Big Progress Citizen Journalist Celebration, what a message now to the journalists?
The message that we want to give to the BB journalists is that, you know, the thing about life is when one tree now bear flower now, and you know that plum tree now, when it start bearing more plum, you will know that if you plant some of the seeds, what will happen is that the whole plum will finish. So the BB journalists, they can start paying attention to those young people who showing interest in journalism and start working with them now. And somebody can go to when they're very good, you can start, they can be interns, and you know, they can come to the radio station and be studying, and you know, like studying other some of you people, so that tomorrow when Hillary not around, at least we can get one young girl or one young boy can also start learning how to do what Hillary doing already. So in that way, we're trying to create, we're working with Press Union to be able to help put this citizen journalist celebration as part of PUL celebration too, so that they know that let's help the young people. They pay attention to them, like the way, and you know, you are pa in the house, you ma in the house, the ma can be teaching the small daughter how to cook, the pa can be teaching the son how to go hunt, all those things. You're taking your own time paying attention to them. Now what we want for it to really happen in the country, that the BB journalists there will look at the small one and are showing interest, and to make them to become big people too.
Okay. Now you get one other program you call Youth Connect. What that one mean?
That one big program, the people in one other country they call Rwanda, they the one last year they invited us for us to see how they do that program in their country. If you go to that country, Hillary, that country clean, you can't find one day on the street. And all that thing is just because the people now train their young people, and the young people know that when I drink water in plastic bear. So in the poor country they say no, we want no plastic in the country, so that people, but when the person eat the color in the paper, they need to trap it on the street. They can take it and fold it nicely, put it in the pack and get to the garbage bin and put it inside. So that kind of good behavior that young people want work. Some of the work that people doing, some of the breaches that we went to, the project they showed last year, the young people working there, they breached the bill. It was the young people idea. Young people that are engineers that went to like who get LU here, the Puna University, and the bill breach. The only thing the government did for us to come in and give money, but the people who decide how they want to bridge everything with the community, the 2 communities that the bridge were linking. So we came back last year, we've been doing this, We launched it, but then why we're doing it in partnership with the government, the Ministry of Youth and Sports. But this year, the good thing about it is that we not do the project here one time, and we're trying to roll the project all completely. So young people who want to do business and things, right? The good news that we get for them now is there are scholarships for people to go to China. The big money man in China, they call him Jack Ma. The man decided for him to give scholarship to people. And we've been talking to the people that will give us some of the scholarship. Now we know the real number, but we know that it will be between 5 and 20. 20%.
So you will send some people to China.
Yes. So Liberia now our organization, but we'll be helping the government, and to send these young people who using ICT, like information technology. I thought about the phone and other things. The young people that are learning that thing, what they can do business with it. So they will go to the main school. They will go learn how to use the internet to make business. So they can come back to Liberia, and so we can start building young people to be millionaires too. You got to be old, gray hair on your head before you become millionaire. And that way back in there, now you can even be 20. Like some of my friends I saw in that place, you know, 24-year-old person, the person is a millionaire already. 21 years old, the person is millionaire. And the person talking to you, you look at it and say, you ain't seeing the money, but the person is a millionaire because the person is doing business. So we want to encourage our young people to stop taking drugs and doing all things that and the government not get job for me. But if you want job, then you yourself should start thinking, and don't ask people for money first. Ask people for opportunities so that you can be able to let your ideas to grow. Once the idea is there and is growing, you will get money.
Okay, Lawrence, the Youth Connect, you're talking about that good thing, and you say you went to Rwanda, you were there, you see how the people can do things there. Now you get some scholarship for some people to go to China, and they learn all the things that young people, how to help develop their country, how to make their country look good. Now the other time you talk about people going in the community to do free work. You said for them to volunteer for one place to another. So how they work now? You're still doing it?
Yeah, we're doing that thing too. And other than a part of Youth Connect, but when we started doing it, we call it Youth Connect, right? The people in Rwanda call it Youth Connect. But here we're calling it volunteer. How can we move from our community? We can't go back. Look at somebody who kind of university in Monrovia, the person from Grand Cru. As an example. But then the same people will say from Grand Cru, they will say that, as soon as you get educated now, the people food you used to eat before, whether made you sick, then you say now the people that witchcraft. So there's something wrong with honor. So when you get vacation, go back to your community, organize your fellow young people and say, how do we want our community to look like? Let me just share something that I've been doing in my village. Maybe it will help other young people. When I went to my village the first time after since 1996. That time I left high school. When I went back after 12 years, you know, I told the people, I swing my hair, I went in the village. I told the people, say, what do you want me to do for you? So they were confused that, but you bring that in. Because the normal thing is that when you go in the interior, you must be carrying, you are carrying donga flare, and, you know, you carry all kind of things to the people. But not the thing we're supposed to carry to them. We're supposed to carry ideas to them. You know what the people told me? The people say, the way they list their priority, they did it that day. They say, we want electricity, we want school. Then you buy one meal so that when the school spoiling or the generator spoil, that we can face it ourselves. What they were saying is that give us business so that we can be able to live our own life. I tell them, okay, I left. After 2 weeks, I sent them one big generator, not 12 a year. But then I only gave lead to my village, but gave lead to the other villages where I used to go play to. So, and the people who are from there, we try to help them to get their meal. Because I told them school, it will take me a long time to get you school. But if I get you the meal, you will start buying your own fuel, and you start. And trust me, the people. So the next thing I did, I say, okay, why don't I get multi-TV for them? So the children too can be watching a football game and watching
in the village too?
In the village. And now you go to that village, when on Saturday when they come play football game and the men are living in other villages coming to watch game, the people now feel that they're connected to us. So I'm saying it because I want for people to go to that village and do the same thing. You may not get it here now again, but you can go to your village and put your people together and just brush the road. and bring it to the main road.
I read to ask you all the things you're doing to encourage them to make them happy. They can brush the road.
They can brush the road, and now I'm making farm in my village because I went there. I also felt sad, right? I felt very bad. The people won't afford to buy rest from Monrovia when they're living in the forest and they get a big land there, and they're not cooking their own food. They're not growing their own food to eat it, but they're waiting for food like a chemical inside before they can eat it. We suffering from the chemical food already. We're looking to load to them so we can get the natural food. So I went there, I told them, I said, let's build farm. So I get plantain farm, I get rice farm, and I get cassava farm. I'm doing it, and I'm not doing the plantain farm with for market. Because I myself want to tell people that if I tell you say grow and make money, I want to make money too. So we're doing all of these things to encourage young people, go in your communities and build something in your community. For example, in Doe community, right? Your bridge sport, then you put yourself together, then you say that law because they can't build bridge. Why you can't put good plan together? And it is that idea that will attract the money, and not going around to pay for the money. So you see, when the money get in their hand, they ain't get the idea, they will eat the money. That's the corruption can you? Okay. And you eat the money.
Okay, let me also ask now, since we're talking about the young people in the country, election coming October, you are getting part to play there. What you're telling the young people? All the international people then who coming to help for the election, they talking to the political party, then everybody say, we want you people to be peaceful. We want no hala. The young people, your both can say no to violence during the election. So what are you doing to them?
We've been working closely with NEC for the voter registration, the exhibition. But let me say one thing, the way we're doing the thing about the young people, for me, I'm getting a little bit concerned about it. We should stop the fear factor with the young people. Let's go to the young people because we are convinced that we want them to change, not only because of election. We let go to them and say, we really want you to change. Let not say, oh, we are frail, we want for them to use you for violence, and why we coming to you. No. Let go to them with our whole heart and say, look, the whole thing is for your own life. Let's put their life before them, and let's put their future before them. And tell them, say, look, our history yesterday was bad. Because we young people, because the people who talking to the young people now were young people yesterday. When the bad thing was happening in the country, and some of them even took part inside. So now they old, so they need to tell the story of what happened and tell them, say, look, because we suffered yesterday, we want you to suffer. Don't make it a fear. Give them hope and say your future can get brighter if you don't engage in what happened during our own time. But in your own time, you can calm down. Know that when your friend choose something, you choose the thing, doesn't mean that you're your enemy. And the thing after October, after that one day, all need for your life to grow. We want to improve your school. We want give them hope message rather than saying, oh, young people are new of violence. I think it's too negative. The same thing that they Ebola here. The people say, oh, don't eat bush meat.
Yeah.
Instead of saying don't eat monkey meat, the people say don't eat bush meat. But grandma then are bush meat. So they were telling you all the time. So the message have fear in it. We shouldn't be talking about young people not getting in violence, but let's tell them the hope that they have for their life. And that hope, talking more about your future, gives your mind hope and allows you to behave better. And for me, I think that what we need to be telling our young people. So I know on Monday will be the official opening of the campaign. So now we're supposed to be telling the young people that, look, this is hope that you have. The hope of choosing somebody. The hope of looking at all the things the men are talking to us. Let lower more and see which of them giving you that hope. And once you're talking to somebody about their future and how bright it will be, and that person the person's behavior now will be very good because they know that they're thinking about something good tomorrow.
Okay. Now, open government, both people here say open government partnership. What that want mean?
That one, you see, we want for the government. When you say that one, I mean for anything the government doing, they wanna hurry. We're not talking about the security thing now, but we're talking things like, oh, you want build road for the people, then you go sit down in public works alone. You design a project, then you take it to the people in the community and say, you see the road we want build for you, and we want the road to be there. But why you can't go first and ask the people, how do you want road that will connect us here to be like? People tell you. What they will tell you when you bring it to the technician because look, we ain't get nothing in our country, no building in our country that resemble our traditional hut. So our architect supposed to start thinking on how to build and design buildings in the country that show our tradition in the modern life. So, but you see, our technicians, when they come from outside the country or they come from in Monrovia, they think that the people in the interior ain't get nothing to offer the country. So, open government means that information you should not hide it. You think that citizens get it, but citizens get the real information. You here, you leading the whole government for the day, so you need to come back to the people that give you power to say, okay, we want to build your health care. Look at the way we build our health care in Tapeta.
Oh, Tapeta.
You put one big building in the middle of a forest, and then the road to go to that building, pregnant woman can't access it. How sad is that? So it means that you even consult the people. So okay, building a building there to tell the Nimapo or Jazzy have do a good man in the country, it's good. But the road that's supposed to go there, the road is all face first before you put building there. So now the pregnant somebody, they say that the bigger referral hospital, you get helicopter to take people there. You don't get helicopter. So it makes it difficult for the way we thinking about our development. Let's come down to the people that our open government is about. To the big word is that what we say now. Make sure that you be accountable to your citizens, and the only way you can be accountable when you listen to them first.
Yeah, because you see, Lawrence, some of the people like places where the people can have a locking company there and think where they can go. The citizens can be complaining. They say, oh, y'all the boat people, they say concession agreement. They say the people should build school, they should build hospital for all, they should face our road, but then do it for us, so we benefit.
It's hard because if you look at the way our concession and we signing it, my advice to any government that come again, because you see, we're growing from one place to another as a country. So if you want to do concession, you want to take people land and give it, we know that you're the real government. But the big word they say that consultation, right? The first consultation should be with the people that are around there. Don't go select some people and say that the people that are around there. Go to them and tell them, say, look, we the one leading you, but you get something valuable here. One company now engage us. Group of company engage you, or we the government want get a mountain, for example, to the people. What you think about the place? When we give it to them, what you want for them to do to you that will help your community? What they will tell you will be the real thing that they want. And don't go only to the chiefs. Go to the youth and see the hope message I was talking about. So when you leave the youth out of that kind of discussion, then it be bad. Go to the women. Hear what the women think. If, for example, giving birth, they're giving a heart, they want small clinic so that you can satisfy that want to, so their midwife, then we can train them and make them better, put them in your clean area so that our mothers, you know, the thing is, Hillary, our mothers really help us, but we don't really get time for them. As a country, even as individual, and that is bad. And to be a mother is there when you the government, you the big mother. Make sure that all your children in your house that you listen to them. So they're not listening to the people. So the people say, oh, okay. So you know, when you can't get information from somewhere, you create your own information. So the people go around creating information, and then someday they get vexed because the company there and the government too supposed to provide protection for the company and the citizen. So the citizen now feel that, oh, the government protecting the company more than us, and look at the people giving them more money. But the truth is, sometimes they look at the document and they can create big document. You reduce in Kolokwa or the people from that area that will get educated people all year. Ministry of Information is there. They all get translator. Let them turn that big document in if the place are Sano, where Golden Verona is. If they are in a Sapo place or in a crew place, turn that document into crew. How easy is that to do? Turn it into crew and Sapo. Let the people listen to it. And that beating that you put there, reduce all that beating, the one that there for their benefit, put it clearly in their language.
Okay. Laura, all the Google thing you're talking, and you say you're the government people to work together. So the government people they already agree now. The government agree. You understand?
The government agree, and the open government thing been happening in Liberia for a while now. You know, for a few years now, and why you see Liberia is one of the countries that passed one big law they call the Freedom of Information Act. So we're getting there small, but we need to step up our speed small. And you know, when you get on the field, you want to play footballer, then me, I'm footballer. So the footballer, then you gotta be jogging small. Then from there you start running. You can't get on the field, start running. The man gets something they call gallo. You get gallo, and when you get gallo now, like, you sit down for some time. But we saying that our government will get gallo, but at least we trying. The next people now supposed to be thinking that the way the people they're not getting it. So the organization like us now, right? So we go to the community, we're creating something that is called Citizen Help Desk. One group will get citizens from the same community. We will train them so that they can be able. We will train them how to reduce the whole big concession into what the people can consume into dollars. We will play football game all way. We will be able to bring people together and be able to explain the real thing that happening, so the people can go with confusion. So the people can say, for example, the land stop to the place. There's the real boundary. Show to the people what the real boundary is. And let the company be present as well, so that the company can know that, there's the boundary that we sign. We can just cross the boundary anytime. Then, for example, tell the people, say, every year the company gave either $3 million. Tell them, say, company gave $3 million. But you see, because your community, not only Liberia and not only the money from here will go, they can put it in one place where they can divide and give some to other people. Tell them how it's looking. Tell them, okay, what is the difference between the county development fund, for example, and how lawmakers projects will look like. So when you can really explain these small things to the people get a real information. The people not get on the street, for example, and start demonstrating and start breaking communities. So we need to try hard enough. So on Friday we are having one of the consultation for the new open government agenda that Liberia is going to submit to the world. We are going to be having in Banga with 5 counties. First we had before last we had 1 year with 5 counties, which were Monrovia, Grand Bassa, Cape Mount, Bomi, and Magibi. But this time we are going for Bapolu, Lofa, Nimba, Bon County, and Grangy there. Then from there we'll move to the other side, and then we'll also have it with the other 5 counties, so that it becomes a document that shows what Liberia commit themselves to the world. So for example, the other commitment, year 2 commitment, and the 3rd commitment, so we decided, we agree that Liberia will create something called the Open Government Hub. One place where government and civil society will meet and developmental partners, and they will discuss. Okay. And the thing is, Hillary, before you come in, when the government make the commitment, because I ought to divide the document, so civil society too can do part of it for the government, because we all are government.
Okay. So let me ask now, the one Citizen Help Desk, that 1 hour.
So we will get citizen. So for example, if you want any information, once we in a particular concession, you want any information, you can come to that desk.
The place they want to get a company there.
Yeah.
Okay.
That places we're starting from.
Okay.
So you will come to the people, and the people that will be there will be people from your own communities that we train.
For example, that in Bombers, we get China Union.
Yeah. So we'll go to your people that in Bombers and take young people from in Bombers, train them to know how to talk to you and tell you, okay, the information you're asking for, this is it. That will call Citizen Help Desk. But then we're also there to help the company understand what the people want. Then we're also there to let the government know that, the people want this thing, the company want this thing, but this is your role for you to play. For example, when they do the money, where they can put a waste product. That's a concern. We as a country need to be concerned. So
that the kind of thing will be.
Yeah. Okay. So we can tell the people, okay, if you put in the there, this is the long-term effect that it will have on the soil, on the water level. That is how maybe you're killing fish in the water. If we kill all our fish in the water, then what we're saying to ourselves, if the people taking bath with the water and the chemical is in the water, to what level the chemical is affecting the skin of the people? So,
but the people that you get to follow on it and they train, you're not training, or they're going through training.
No, we train the first group of people, and then we're about to train another group of people. So we still at the training phase now. And the reason why we're doing this is for us to reduce the tension between the community dwellers and the company, but also build confidence between citizens and the government, so that the citizens understand that, look, some of the things that we say, the government did, they really did it, or they didn't do it. But that information, you get it clear right to your door. And it will be your own young people that will come from there that also may have had some that won't call bizarre in a hair. So
so they put your training now. They put it in Monrovia. They want to take from Monrovia.
No. We're taking the people from right in the concession area.
Oh, okay.
So we're not taking nobody from Monrovia.
Okay, you're not training nobody in Monrovia. The president they play get metal steel, they get lock, they get China Union, the places
we're taking it.
You'll go right there, you take the people from
there. Then we train them. Because they are the one living there. They know exactly what they're going through. So if they can be the one coming back to their own people and say, oh, they think what we thought was like they, not like they. Look, come and see. Then they show you the document and say, you see the mistake here? You see the other mistake here? You see the other mistake here? Or the thing that we say like this, but maybe we're asking too much. We need to ask for too much because there's the limit of the request that we're supposed to make, and there's how the request, there's how long it takes for it to come. So all that thing, when people know you can manage their expectation well, then you can see that their behavior will be better.
The official voice of the United Nations in Liberia, 91.5 FM.
Liberia, sweet land of liberty. Today is July 26, 2017, and today is Liberia's 170th independence celebration. Today we are going to be holding discussions here about Liberia. In studio with me is Raymond Zabe, and also Olive Thomas will be here shortly. And later on we'll be talking to our colleagues at the Centennial Memorial Pavilion on Ashman Street, where official ceremonies are being held for Liberia's 170th independence anniversary. So stick and stay to UNMIL Radio and get a feel of what the day is like and what the program will look like later on. We look forward to the oration, the independence oration for today, and we ask that you stay tuned and be a part of the celebrations. My name is Yede Allison, and like I said, my colleagues Raymond Zabe and Olive Thomas will be with me in studio. Together we give you the bits and pieces of information about Liberia, and also you can stay tuned as we will be bringing to you the live broadcast of the Independence Day official program from the Centennial Memorial Pavilion on Ashman Street.
The official voice of the United Nations in Liberia, 91.5 FM.
Liberia is preparing for the 2017 general and presidential elections. We need to remember that the people who are not with our party or people who are not supporting our candidates are only our political opponents, and they are not our enemies. Elections are not wars. Instead, elections are opportunity to choose the best people to lead our country. Elections should not become an excuse for abusing or attacking those who do not share our views or our choice. Elections should not be opportunity for violence, because after election, we have to live together as families, communities, eat together, work together, pray together, go to school together, farm together. So elections should be a time for us to know that we can come together and pick the best leader for our country and not big enemies.
A message from the Peace Ambassador of Liberia.
Timeline Liberia.
A chronology of key events.
Oh, happy day. 1822, the formation of Liberia.
July 1847, the Constitution of Liberia was drawn up.
July 26, 1847, Liberia becomes independent.
1917, Liberia declares war on Germany.
1926, Firestone starts operations in Liberia.
1943, William Tubman elected president. May 1951, women and indigenous property owners vote in the presidential election for the first time.
1958, ritual discrimination outlawed.
1974, government accepts aid from the Soviet Union for the first time.
1978, Liberia signs trade agreement with the European Economic Community.
And then follows the years of instability.
August 2003, Nigerian peacekeepers arrive, interim government and rebels sign peace accord in Accra, Ghana.
October 2003, UN launches major peacekeeping mission, deploying thousands of troops.
February 2004, international donors pledge more than 500 million in aid.
September 2005, Liberia agrees that the international community should supervise its finances in an effort to counter corruption.
November 23, 2005, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf becomes the first woman to be elected as an African head of state.
February 2006, Truth and Reconciliation Commission is set up to investigate human rights abuses between 1979 and 2003.
And April 2006, former Liberian President Charles Taylor appears before a UN barcode in Sierra Leone.
Liberia, no turning back.
Definitely Liberia, no turning back. If you just join us, this is UNMIL Radio, and we are bringing to you live programs marking the 170th independence of Liberia. And I'm Yere Allison, and I'm here with
Raymond Zabe.
Raymond Zabe, and we are expecting Olive Thomas anytime soon. So we'll be telling you about Liberia, its founding, where we've come from, and to where we are right now. And also we'll be bringing to you a live broadcast from the Centennial Memorial Pavilion, Ashburn Street. There we will be joining our colleagues later on, so that they give us a feel of what things are.
And our colleagues there will be Seyu Tikwa, Eva Flomo, Seo Watterson, Augustine Hammerberg, and our technicians Mike Ana, Makate Do, Ebenezer Sipo, and
basically that's the team for today there. But we are in studio here in Sape, and so we are you want us to start from where Liberia came from.
Usually whenever we are having such a broadcast, Yeda is usually the historian, and she does all of her researches, and to come and explain to you, listen attentively to our broadcast. about, how this whole country started, the evolution, what has happened and what is happening, and the anticipation, the aspirations of the people of Liberia. And today is a unique day. It's very memorable. 170 years to exist as a country and people. I mean, it's something that is so joyful, that you consider yourself, among Committee of Nations. You helped in the emancipation of other countries. You had a brutal civil war. Almost the whole world came to your assistance. You were rescued, you were restored, and now you are. You've made history. First among many events. First country, to have a female, African country to have a female president. From the soccer side, we had a legend, Joshua, and we've been making headwaves when it comes to having some negative impact. We had Ebola. We almost had the highest death toll. So as a people, we've had our own challenges. As a country too, we've had our own challenges. But one thing people have praised us for is for our resilience. In all of our difficult times, odd times, Liberians, are always determined to move ahead. They never allow anything to keep them down. You see them even in the heat of the war, will stay partying, and having good times. So that is who we are as a people, proudly. I've just posted on my Facebook page that I'm very proud. I'm happy to be a Liberian. I'm sure Yeda will also share such views. She's Evan Yeda Addison. She's proud to be a Liberian lady, a Liberian female journalist, who has had many years of experience. People listen to her and feel proud, listen to her. Even though it's not everybody listen to us, like us, but at least we are making headway. So I was just kind of pushing, about how proud I am to be a Liberian. And I'm sure the orator today is a proud Liberian. Reading his profile, I mean, he's such a learned man. At the relatively age of 21, he had already gotten his doctorate degree in theology. So I can imagine what he'll be saying today. He'll almost be preaching today. He's credited for being an eloquent preacher. So I'm sure today, when he's delivering his oration, it won't be too far from preaching. So I'm so anxious to hear, what Dr. Brown, has to say today, because every time we have orators, addressing such event, they either give us food for thought or recount some of the challenges we've had as a people and how we should hold together as a people, because we are respected in this world. When you talk about Liberia, Liberia is a country of substance. People who are hardworking and. So stop the preaching so far and listen to what your own sermon.
Right, you're not preaching. When you have somebody of this nature, somebody who's very patriotic, they will just go on and on and on.
Sure.
So, like I tell people all of the time, I'm a Liberian. I come from Liberia. This is the space that God has given me. Even if I go somewhere and reside there for the next 15 to 20 years, even if I take on the citizenship of that person, deep down in me, to the core, will always be, Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
So
literally, we say my neighbor stream was buried here.
So, Zabe, I'm very proud to be a Liberian.
So I am.
There are a lot of things that we can boast of. There are a lot of things that we have done wrong. Okay, mm-hmm. and we we try to correct those wrongs. Like I was asking callers this morning on Your Morning, the question, what do you envision for Liberia as we move towards the 2017 elections and beyond? And, I got some very positive responses from them, even though one or two still had some reservations. But some of the other callers tried to encourage them, and so we may have had our ups and downs. We may have had our problems, the civil war, uprising, starting from the rice riot in 1979, right? Yeah. April 14, and we may have had all of those different.
Talking about the rice riot, maybe that's the reason why Liberia has rice as its staple food.
Yeah, rice has always been a staple food of Liberia, and the funny thing, we have not been able to grow that much to feed ourselves, but thanks to our international partners, and we always have enough, whether we grow or import to eat. So, like I was saying, we may have had our ups and downs in a different, this breaks in our peace, year. But we managed, like the song of our rising star there, Moses Soare. He's in the United States of America now. He says that we fall down, but we get up. We rise up and we move on. You see, so Liberia has had, some troubling times, but I will describe us as very strong people. Okay, not only physically, but mentally as well, because people who have gone through what we went through, and to get up, for every time that we there was a setback, we bounce back. Every time that there was a setback, we bounce back.
That's why people praised us for our resilience.
And so here we are today at 170 years. Here we are today at 170 years and moving on. And so we look forward to the national oration today.
Talking about the oration, what do you suspect or what do you anticipate him to talk about today?
Well, this man, like you've said, he's the president of the Cottington University. Yeah. And I was privileged to listen to him one time when he served as a guest preacher at our church in Broadville, Zion Grove Baptist Church. Okay, and I really don't want to. He talked about. He was preaching about Job and his trust and faith in God.
The hardship he experienced.
Yeah, hardship he experienced, and he added a little bit of humor to it. That Job, all of his friends deserted him and everything because of the sores and everything on his body.
He was even told to curse God and
to curse God and die. Okay, but he said, but then their wife didn't curse God. Asked Job to curse God and die until the sores reached his midpoint downwards. Okay, so I don't know what to say, but it was very funny. But if you knew Bishop Brown, okay, his late father, the bishop of the Episcopal Church for so many years in Liberia. Then
I think he was Archbishop before he died.
Archbishop. Then you would really grasp what I'm trying to say to you. This man is a speaker. Okay, when he preaches, he's also teaching.
He delivers a compelling sermon.
You will want to listen to him up to the last minute.
Sure.
Okay. He has that captivating voice. Sure. When he opens, he sounds like his father, bling bling. Okay, and the kind of heavy, commanding voice that Bishop Brown, his late father, had. So and I look forward to hearing him speak today, and I know that it's going to be something rewarding for Liberia, for Liberians. Okay, as we move ahead.
For me, I think he's going to talk about our independence. We call ourselves, an independent country. So I'm sure he's going to, recount on how independent we've been or how dependent we've been, and try to challenge us, to rise up to the height and not just always rely on handouts. People have to help us during the Ebola time. I know it was inevitable. People had to come to our assistance, but every little thing, we have a very rich soil. our mineral resources are in abundance, you know, and stay, you know, people say, you know, Liberians are living in abject poverty. I'm sure he was going to talk about this independence that we are so proud, that we so proudly speak about. Is it something in reality, or is something abstract? You know, so it's about this independence. I'm sure Dr. Brown is going to touch on. And it's going to make so many relations, education. Are we independent educationally? Are we independent when it comes to health? Are we independent when it comes to infrastructure development? So that is the key point. It may not be exact as I'm saying it, but I'm sure Dr. Brown is going to talk about the independence of this country. What does it mean for Liberians, you know, to be independent? We say we are 170 years old today. We are proudly, you know, heralding this thing, you know. So I'm sure he's going to talk about this independence.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yes, Abi, and I'm sure he's going to also talk about unification, and I'm sure he's going to touch on the educational system, the health system, you know, all of that, and also talk about. You know, the future Liberia, what is going in terms of infrastructure, and you know, the kind of structures that we should have in place, so that all Liberians can be part and parcel of the cake, and to be able to enjoy the heritage. Okay, so I know maybe we should open the lines to hear what our callers, you know, hope for, thing that, you know.
I think before we, you know, give the opportunity to our listening audience, let's tell you a little bit about orator of today.
Yeah. Okay. So you have it there.
Yeah. You know, usually the orators are named and selected by the president. That's a privilege, you know, the president of the country has, and he is Dr. Herman Brown, president of the Cotton University. Yeah, okay.
Or you not pronounce that.
Well, for us broadcasters, you know, we are not too much interested in middle names. You know, it's about time. Our newspaper is about space.
But, you know, he's the orator, so people want to know. Maybe there are other Herman Browns, you know.
No, this is the only Herman Brown for Liberia.
Dr. Herman Bissier
Brown.
Bissier Brown.
Oh, okay. He sounds like somebody from Maryland.
Okay, we got to find that out. Let me not be definite.
you pronouncing it with such, you know, accuracy. So he is the president of the Cotton University. He was just named not too long ago. He's our 170th Independence Day orator. And president, he's the president's choice, and the selection of, you know, orators, you know, began when the president took over in 2006. George Emma Shannon Watson, followed by child rights advocate Kimmy Weeks in 2007. In 2005, Dr. Brown served as National Flag Day orator. So you see, as if it was, you know, destined, you know, after being Flag Day orator, he'll be Independence Day orator. In 2017, National Orator is a renowned Episcopalian prelate who immediately before being named the Cotton University president served as the Dean of the Trinity Cathedral in Monrovia. He assumed the CU presidency after a thorough vetting process by a committee set up by the Episcopal Church in Liberia. Cotton University is the Episcopal Church highest institution of learning. Dean Brown, who is considered an eloquent preacher, like we've all said, was in April 2010 appointed by Bishop Hart as Dean of Trinity Cathedral, the leading parish of the Episcopal Diocese in Liberia. He was born in 1965. What is his age now? You can do the mathematics and tell our listening audience. The fourth onto the union of Mrs. Clavenda Riley Brown and the late Archbishop George D. Brown. Having completed St. Patrick's High School in 1982 and obtaining a Bachelor of Arts degree in theology with cum laude from the Cotton College at the time in 1986, he was ordained deacon. When he was obtaining his bachelor degree, that was when I was just getting my high school diploma. He was ordained deacon the following year and served as Assistant Director for Christian Education Chaplain to Bromley Mission and Curate of Grace Church, Clay Ashland. He acquired a Bachelor of Divinity Honors degree and was concurrently an Associate of King's College in 1990 from the University of London. Wow. Unable to return to Liberia that year, he earned a PhD in Systematic Theology from the University of London in 1994 at a relatively youthful age of 29, becoming the first clergyman from the Episcopal Church of Liberia to earn a terminal degree in theology.
So we could just go on and on, Zabe, because it goes as far as 2005.
Okay, so I think let's rest there and tell people who are just listening to us for the first time, talking about Independence Day. What usually happens, around this time? People, their homes are decorated with the flag of this country. People do a lot of shopping. They eat the best of food, eat enough, share.
Did you do a lot of shopping yesterday?
Well,
or the days before?
Yeah, the days before. Yeah, usually I do my shopping.
What did you shop for?
For the kids to have a good food, wife to cook a good food, and guess what? Their nephews. Yeah, my boys, kids.
Gifts? Did you buy?
Oh yeah. Everything is inclusive. Complete package here.
Okay.
I'm a family man like you.
But one thing that, because this was very common with us, would say, oh, my 26 on you.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like, anyway, the thing is, those days, people knew that they just had to give you your 26, okay? Even if you don't, I say, okay, come on here, you can't take this little $5 or $10, go buy something and stuff like that. Or you shopping and you meet your friends, your relatives in the supermarket, in the stores, and you had the privilege of receiving maybe like $25-$50 worth of shopping from them.
Sure.
It was nothing for one to put his or her hand in the pocket or bag and dish out something for their friends and relatives. But on this day, you find people cooking a lot of food. All right, I grew up eating. We'll be eating jollof rice and salad for a very long time.
I know for you would have loved cooking pan butter today.
No, but over the years, as I got on my own, became a woman, okay, because I'm no more a girl. I thought it wise that we do our national dishes, okay? It's our national, our
what is yours? Is it pan butter?
When I say okay, not national dishes, but our traditional dishes, okay? Because it goes by county.
Again, pan butter is your traditional dish.
One of it.
Okay.
Oh,
you have several.
I'm Concord Gribble. So you just can't get it.
We're talking about dual nationality, so got dual traditional nationality.
Concord Gribble, okay. You cannot divorce. We'll go back to our history. You cannot divorce it, okay. Yes, I'm a descendant of the American Liberians also. Yes. So
I'm a proud, naturally native Liberian.
Okay. Well, I come from Maryland County as well as the American Liberians.
I only have one county, even though
I have two. That's why when we play when we're having the national meet, okay,
so you support I don't lose.
Yeah, so if one gets out, I know I'm still there.
For me, even though my parents came from Lofa and had us in Bombing, but I still, have my loyalty to Lofa because my neighbor's son was buried in Bombing,
okay.
But I speak Loma, even though not.
I speak Congo.
You should be proud to speak Gribble. Now we are.
I speak all of them.
Now we are.
But let's not talk about that because there's one Liberia now. Okay, and so let's just talk. We're talking about the activities that go along with the stuff like that. So we have like today I'm going to be eating fufu and soup. All right. Wow. If I had stayed home, I would have been cooking some palm butter and maybe some palm oil potato greens, something of that sort. And I thought to have the Liberian sweets like kanya or crumpy candy, coconut candy, those kind of things. All right, you can move away from the western side of it. Okay, we have to be very traditional during our celebration. But Zabe, let's just go to. We'll soon be joining our colleagues there at the Centennial Pavilion. but let's go to the founding of Liberia, okay? I wanted to give a quiz this morning. Liberia, which means land of the free. Did you know that?
Yes, I knew that.
Okay, and it was founded by free African Americans and freed slaves from the United States in 1820.
That's why I told our listening audience that usually when we're having such a discussion, Ms. Ebony Allison is our historian. Go ahead.
How will you describe or say what does it?
No, I mean on this program.
So let's go ahead. An initial group of 86 immigrants came to be called American Liberians, established a settlement in Christopolis. Christopolis meaning City of Christ. Okay, that was the first name given to the capital city. Now it's Monrovia, named after U.S. President James Monroe. And that was done on February 6, 1820. Okay, and this morning we talk also about the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Was signed by Hillary Teach and others, and that was done at the Providence Baptist Church on Broad Street, the old Providence Baptist Church. And I said if you go into the church and you look on the left hand side, you will see the flag there with the engravings. Okay, and we talk about the Liberian flag that was made by Susanna Lewis and other ladies. It was first hoisted on August 24, 1847, because they said, look, we cannot have this, we cannot have our country, a nation, and there's no national ensign. Okay, so they thought to make this flag red, white, and blue. We have 11 stripes, and we have the blue background with the white star. They all have meaning. The red Zabe stands for the blood that was shed, the white for purity, and what the blue for? Courage.
No, okay. I'm spellbound listening to you. Just recounting my high school history.
For purity of hearts and moral excellence of the founding of Liberia. The red stripes for the blood that was shed by our forefathers in the struggle of the land, and the 5-pointed white star depicts Liberia as the first independent republic on the continent of Africa. The blue field symbolizes the continent of Africa, the dark continent of Africa, and then Liberia became the first.
But that darkness is getting brighter these days.
It has become very bright. Okay, so the national flag has a song, The Lone Star Forever, written by President Edwin Barclay, and also the Liberian national anthem, All Hail Liberia Hill, was written by President Daniel Bashel Warner, and it became the official
that's what they call Charles D.B. King
in 1847. All right, so Liberia, officially the Republic of Liberia, is founded on the west coast. It's found on the west coast of Africa. It is bordered by Sierra Leone on the west, Guinea on the north, and Cote d'Ivoire on the east. Liberia's coastline is composed of mostly mangrove forests, while the most sparsely populated inland consists of forests that open to a plateau of drier grasslands. So Liberia is one of two modern countries in sub-Saharan Africa. All right, so we will take a break, Zabi, to play you a piece of music here, and then we come back with more discussions and try to make contact with our outside broadcast team. Keep listening to UNMIL Radio.
We just want to say happy independence to all of you listening to us who have continuously listened to us throughout the country, and wherever our signal is touching you through your electronic sets. We want to say happy Independence Day. We are proud to be Liberians.
All hail Liberia, hail, all hail, all hail Liberia, hail, this glorious land of liberty. All hail Liberia, hail.
Almighty, with pride and dignity. Thank you, Lord, Mama Liberia. Arise and take your place, emerald nations. Arise, for your light has come. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Wake up, oh, Mama Liberia.
That's the song of the Little White Chapel in Locan Town, and with the song "Or Hail Liberia Hail." We just talked to our outside broadcast crew. Any moment from now, we'll be joining them at the Centennial Memorial Pavilion on Ashman Street, and they will be giving us a description of what things look like down there with regards to the official programs for the 170th Independence Day today. But in studio with me is Raymond Zabe, and now we have our language announcers, our Pele language announcer, and also our Loma announcer. We're still awaiting our Basa announcer, but we like to go over to Yasa Kwawa, our Loma announcer, to tell you a little bit about what we are doing today.
Yes, sir.
Zabe?
Final soon.
Nine Safulini, Toboga Kuba Adifama. Bobala Safulini, Ade, Brununa Bonuma, Naga Adega Boyima, Mafuliata. Namatoga Fruya hitting the money Aduzu, De Kloboga Frua. Bobalale. Kapuso Magamafu at the Bohro, Kuna to das also the book at Tom de Vesabo, Fruala na Uruju. Area Saga, Ungla, Zero Fella. Nama Aduquanga Saboka, Aduhagasa. Siegima, Tevane, Navaga, Tung, Tate Tevane, Ganmuseti, Tanga, Tevatinima Teve. Nana when a puggy television set on variety at the Bohroka. Aduquanga Fana, Delvin say. Namasa Fruale, Tasa, Gaza, Vetehanama, Satana Pavilion, Tasa Naga to Frual and you wrote or to he will be told Alizime. Naman and Maga, Azibo, Gava, Hoga, Tama, Capuso, Maga, Zavolinia, Frua, Adevama, whole Omagiti.
Okay. Yeah, to I.
Now, you worry, Kummer.
Kagama.
Kai kaka wuto ma wakukere wuto ba kwa na mai kwa mbeka saka afruku kata ni kwa mbeka aga ika kwatama le ima hole de ba kwa ma yu koge ile ba kwa ma pepe kwa ba kai me le nga tama boya plana safru mema safru ku ka a kukeke poku ka boyu ba fruku pepe ku go Liberia ni ku ka anwe ngenu de ngai saba ngo fruku li nguma ebola Li kwa makwene kwa akrange sang mbe kwa ngweke li akuka akra nguntono po bulolu me file li kuka kugoron kuka kwa alwe proprota li kuka nwenga same li ka nute lwenga kuya ko abo li kwinga daga ma West Africa kadanga nwenga plama ango menga kre kwa ga mweka ge katama kaga na ka woto li kwa muka ge kaga gorongo Liberia follow alwe li nukre fo goron nwenga nutama e goronya kuka halaba li ko baga ma menga de dama po sukraka kula welinga li kwa jade ga hangu tikai agoron deka po adile akwa kwa jade kuka ba bring cookie bog benga abake berkur katai li paranga cookie de hudunga kamu ni gwinga dagama pavera nganga nga plama badu da bagay dinga de cake break be kena kwabe non tono liga anukara liga go pukaro mena ko liga bonkane na ko no nukara de abaga lune nwenga nudinga pona liku go menga de ke ka ba me tama pra juka ga nya kwa mweka ne ka shi ka wo to kwa li ko ga pa me le nga de ka pona li ka cookie bog ka ba tama pra halaju ka se kala we ka kra ke ka wo to kwa ba ba di nga agbo ba nga ku ko ka kwa pe ku ka po le ba ku ma me le nga mbo ka wo to ba kwa pa na ma.
Okay, ya to aye. Ku ka to no. Kukatono, we are one.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, speak small grebo now since you see.
Fede.
Fede? Now we are all.
Fede. Sabe, I know you went to school in Meridian County, so you can't bluff here.
No, I got to bluff about you today. I got to bluff how Liberian I am.
Okay,
seriously, I know.
I 100% too. But anyway,
in my DNA.
What DNA? All right, back to seriousness. The day is Liberia's 170th independence anniversary.
Great.
And you've just listened to our language announcers, two of them, Yasakowa, our Loma announcer, and Mr. James Joseph Kiakula. All right. I'm thinking about James Kessini. He's supposed to be here anytime from now, and talking about he just walked in and walked to the wrong side. But shortly you will hear from James Kessini, our Bassa announcer, to tell you what this day is all about and what we are doing. And hopefully soon we'll be joining our outside broadcast team at the Centennial Memorial Pavilion on Ashman Street, where official programs will be taking place for the 170th Independence celebration of Liberia. So Zabe, we were talking about Liberia, before the language announcer came in, with all of our, from the start of this great nation, and we had we had peace and calm. I mean, we had people pouring into Liberia because they used to come for sightseeing. We had a lot of tourism, sites here at Liberia. People came here to go to school. People came here to do business. We had great
Nelson Mandela visited here,
and great musicians who reside here, like Mariam Akipa and Hugh Masekila. All they were here. Even Nina Simone live here in Liberia, and we had great presidents, visiting this country. We have peace and calm until the years of instability came. We can't leave that behind. It's part of our history. We had the Rice Riot, April 14. We had the 1980 coup. We had the 1990 Civil War, and then we had the other
Octopus in 1996,
and then the Lurid War in 2000. Was it 2002 or 2003? Until the United Nations mission came to Liberia.
First, it was a regional group.
The Vanguard Force. That was ECOMIL. That came in, and they were here in August. And then there was the rehatting in 2003 to UNMIL. So you see, Liberia has come a long way, and we have been the first of a lot of things. Liberia was a founding member of the United Nations and the Organization of African Unity, now the African Union. But let's just go to James Kessini, our Bassa language announcer, and to tell us about this day to our people out there.
Inje ara nensuone jeke be ngeti onore mosinyen abeden gurika da bida onwa nsona ke o honre jwaro ke baranyo tan barabui o monsena ke abeden gurika be juke we onyo bedan ka jinyini debe ni nkliye mo wa po we onyo ke wa po soban neke da bida amakure we kinyo sing wane kure ke abe ne nkuri ka be da bida bro da sing ne president Ellen Johnson sele opo we anyana ka waka be ke kure tejun ke kure we anyana ka mo bi aje da bida penye bo oson 100 bara yon tan bara bo biye ke onijwa mo karen ke de bareke amon wa bria mande soje baba ke wa sore waji brochiri won de pa veran pa ke mon ke wa nyu amare penyi joro deke ke debe na ke oni juwa mansen ke ni amo chenye abdi ba so sen ni beson wo ni bankrama reverses county wo eni makiwi o da bida brothers sen be bon ni tintin no do abode ke omo tibe ake amion wakapo be ake wedan ke penje sepe obeni ngurika be tibe wanama da bida of fleo o kangambo tie kanti be ma moso ba kanti wado ma nyobe de pa ke mu ka gbero beson odo ma de nyode ke ni nyando ma de nyode ke omo nyobe be wa mo kran kru kanti wa mo do ma de nyode ke wa poema Davida koro wa po ma kwa so en we bia bo bia ke we anyana ke bojie wani we akpenye antisin omo bia je Davida akpenye oye ni wa nwen chula to ne sisi oje omo kure we ke ani jwa ma no Davida bua mo kare ke enje adiga be omo responsa we oni nja monpu ke okwenga omo ke dero chen ke ko ke dero chen monge basonyo sense mbo chenka ta sembe ni ke ni mbo dutu wan amu mbo chem akeni ni wure kwe ke repa yu wan amon pla chen ti amon pi okoni moto se brabo abasa program kwen ke da mo nwa adima be mo ne jere aresien mo da ti obosi ne be okedaro chen ne aresin.
Okay, so that was our Bassa language announcer, Mr. James Kissini. He's here with his colleagues, the Pere language announcer, Joseph Kekula, and our Loma language announcer, Yasakoa. And I'm here, Allison, along with Raymond Zabe. And we've been telling you a little bit of Liberian history and also giving you an idea of what this day looks like, all the activities and what's is coming up. So at this juncture, Raymond,
let's leave our studio now and go to Centennial Pavilion where we have Seyu Tikwa and Eva Flomo standing by along with Augustine Hammerbrook. Seyu, it's all yours.
Seyu Tikwa is there at the Centennial Memorial Pavilion. Seyu, good morning. Good morning, Seyu. Okay. Good morning, Seyu.
Are you getting?
Good morning, Augustine Hammerbrook. It's over to you.
Thank you very much. Addison, it's a beautiful morning here at the Centennial Memorial Pavilion. I'm standing directly outside of the pavilion and guests have started to arrive. It's a cloudy morning here. Earlier on there was a little bit of rainfall, but now the rain has stopped, and as you can hear in the background, members of the National Culture Troupe of Liberia along with the Liberia Crusaders for Peace and other cultural groups have gathered outside performing for the audience here, just right outside of the Center for National Documents and Records. So I'm here along with Sarah Watterson, our language announcer, and we will be bringing you description of what is happening here at the Centennial Pavilion as we here to bring you live programs marking the 170th Independence Anniversary of Liberia. Guests have already started to arrive earlier on according to the protocol. By 9:50 this morning, members of the Consular Court entered the Centennial Pavilion, and the special representative of the Secretary General of the United Nations and head of international organizations. 9:55 was the standard time set for their arrival. 10 o'clock, His Excellency and Doyen members of the diplomatic corps will enter the pavilion. The Dean and members of the Cabinet will enter the Centennial Memorial Pavilion and be escorted to their seats reserved for them. That will be at 10 minutes past 10 o'clock. And then the national orator for this year's event will enter the hall at 10:20 this morning. But let me just acquaint you with some of the activities that have been happening marking this 170th Independence Anniversary.
It all started with the Golden Image Award that took place in the ballroom of the Monrovia City Hall on Friday. And then the Muslim community hosted a Thanksgiving and intercessory prayer at the 72nd Central Mosque in Pinsville on Friday at 12 noon. An investiture ceremony was also held at the Centennial Memorial Pavilion as well. And there were a couple of delegations that took place in the country marking this year's independence. President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf dedicated, I don't like to use the word dedicated because it was dedicated by President Samuel Doe, former President Doe in the 80s. So I'll say rededication of the Samuel Kanye Doe Sports Complex. And it was rededicated by President Sirleaf on Saturday, where a kickball and football match was held. And then on Sunday, there was a Thanksgiving and intercessory service at the Sacred Heart Cathedral on Broad Street. And that program went well. And Monday, the president dedicated development projects around Montserrat County. And as a matter of fact, there were also some projects, just to name a few: the Google Project Link, the GFK Eye Clinic, and the refurbished National Museum. There were also an interactive young mother dialogue in the auditorium of the University of Liberia on Capitol Hill, and that program was held. And Tuesday, and to talk about the event today, we see a lot of people here. A lot of people have turned out just outside of the pavilion. I see scores of people here gathered to get a glimpse of some of the activities that are happening here as the guests arrive. People are watching to see. But it's a noisy pavilion right now, as you can hear in the background. People are celebrating. Yeah, Raymond.
Yes, I know you are telling us you are reading the itinerary as per the program, because when you said the orator will be arriving at 10:20, it's already 10:22. What is the exact atmosphere? We hear the noise of the sound of the beating of a drum, dancing, what have you. Describe for us the inner part of the hall and outside.
Well, I'm not in the hall right now, Raymond. I'm outside of the hall.
Okay.
But I can tell you that the Centennial Pavilion is well painted. National colors, red, white, and blue. And the cultural troupe of Liberia, the National Cultural Troupe of Liberia, the sound I'm hearing in the background is from that their cultural display here at the pavilion, and they are dressed up in national colors, red, white, and blue, dancing for the audience out here. And it's a nice view here, very breezy. The sun isn't hot, and it's just a little bit cloudy. I'm not a meteorologist to say whether it's going to rain later on, but I think perhaps we're going to experience a little bit of rain shower later on this morning, but I hope it's not going to happen now to scare the crowd away from this building.
Are there onlookers on the other side of the street watching what's going on at the Centennial Pavilion?
Exactly. I did say earlier that just because the onlookers are not allowed to cross the street where we are on the side of the pavilion, so they are across the street right in front of the Center for National Documents and Records, or the Archives building. That's where the guests are, or rather the observers, onlookers, are standing. So yeah, talking about security, huge security presence, and I'm hearing a siren coming towards. I don't know who's that person, but I'm looking to see, and I'll let you know exactly who is arriving at the moment right now.
When you talk about security, is it the police you're referring to?
As I see at the moment, a siren is coming and approaching us gradually. I think this will probably be the guest speaker for this event. So, but I'm waiting to see who's going to come out of the vehicle. So I'm looking at the moment.
Okay, so are we still talking about arrival of guests at the program?
Exactly, guests are still arriving.
Okay.
Even as we speak, I still see people making their way into the hall. People are arriving.
Okay.
Government officials, members from the diplomatic corps. We see different guests arriving here.
Okay. What about Seyu and Ivo? Are they in there? Can they tell us what's happening in the hall?
Yeah, Raymond.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we are hearing you.
Okay, I'm in the hall, and the hall is filling up right now. You have officials of government here, members of the legislature, they're taking up their seats. You have other government officials coming in. In the main space, you see they still have empty seats there, which means that the people are still coming in. The program is actually set to start at 11 o'clock. I don't have a timepiece on me right now, so I can't tell whether it's exactly 11 o'clock. But they kind of like filing up. So by 11, hopefully, now it's 2:26 based on what I just saw. So by 11 o'clock, if all things remain constant, all things remain equal, then we will start at 11. But from what I see right now, yes, people are making a lot of efforts. We see the members of the protocol. They have some suit that they fix on themselves, looks like African, but it's actually inscribed with the colors of the flag, red, white, and blue, which looks really beautiful. So today, the inside of the Centennial Pavilion is actually properly decorated with the red, the white, and blue. You can see it. It's all over the place, and it resonates with what the day represents, our Independence Day.
Eva, are you close to where the sound is coming, because it's overwhelming your commentary?
Decorated. This is no news. It's usually done this way, and it's always red, white, and blue. Even a carpet on the floor. So, indeed, as Eva said, is really decorated with the national colors. And one of the things I needed to say is that the orator of the day is already in the hall. I see Dr. Hemmett Brown, president of the university.
No, Cottington University.
He's already here being escorted. And I also see the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Majon Kamara, and the Minister of Finance is Bwama Kamara. They are also here. And I see a couple of senators who are here. I see Senator Joseph Namwe, Senator Kamine Wisa, and Senator George Weah. These are the three senators I see so far who are in the building. I see Minister Brandon Samakar, the Minister of National Defense. Eva.
Yeah, like so you said, the officials are still coming in, and we have national choir. I mean, the National Mass Choir, 80 members. I understand they are 80, led by Timothy E. Thomas. So these are people who are expected to sing during the program. We see the official program. We see the national anthem.
Are they at the balcony of the hall?
Song is praise him. Invocation is by Reverend Sando E. Townsend, the religious advisor to the president. We see welcome statement by the Honorable Florence Brande, Superintendent of Montserrat County. And then they have next the reading of the Independence Day Proclamation by Miss Aliza Scott, student from the School of Prime System. We have selection, and it's the Glory of the Lord by the combined mass choir of the New Life Mission and Liberia Premier Choral Society. Then we have the introduction of the national orator, Jala Molba Wu Kennedy Jr., student, Mary Lauren Brown School of Excellence, and of course the national oration by Dr. Herman B. Brown, the national orator for this year, July 26. And then you have the conferral of distinctions by Her Excellency the President, Mrs. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, President of the Republic of Liberia. And from what we see here, Dr. Herman B. Brown, Doctor of Systematic Theology, National Heritage, July 26, 2017. And we'll see what will be conferred is Knights Grand Band, Humane Order of African Redemption, KGB, HOAR, all kinds of titles. So, those are some of the things that will be happening here. It sounds kind of like really, really interesting. Then we see Right Reverend Dr. David R. Daniels Jr., presiding Bishop of the 15th Episcopal District African Methodist Episcopal Church, and will be conferred Knights Commander, Most Venerable Order of the Pioneers, KCMVOP. Then you got cultural performance, Liberian National Cultural Troupe, messages of felicitations from sovereign heads of state and government, Her Excellency Madam Marjan Vashti Kamara, Minister of Foreign Affairs. Obviously, she'll be the one reading some of those messages, and you have the greetings from the diplomatic corps, and of course, His Excellency Mr. Abdullah Dori. He's the Ambassador of the Republic of Ghana, and Guinea, and he's the doyen of the diplomatic corps. So he will be doing that as well. Then we have selections coming. They have the Peleson, Kuka, Tono, We Are One. Then they have one in Bandi. It's in Liberia. Olo Kafegaye. Liberia, Remember Thy Creator. And it will be done by the combined mass choir of the New Life Mission and Liberia Premier Choral Society. Then you have the Independence Day remarks by Her Excellency the President. You have selection, Great is Thy Faithfulness by Miss Sonia Roberts, soprano singer. Then you have an announcement there. Of course, the Ambassador Jarvis Witherspoon, he's the chief of protocol. He will be doing that. Then we have the benediction and of course the national anthem. So that is how it looks like in terms of the program here.
Okay.
So yes, and the AFL band is here with the audience. They'll be doing the national anthem. So that is what it looks like here in the hall. The seats are filling up gradually, and we believe that with time, program will be starting.
Indeed, Eva, yes, indeed, the place is not yet packed, as we usually say, to capacity. Not as yet, but it's getting fill up the seats. But dignitaries are coming in. I just saw the President Pro Tempore of the Liberian Senate, Amanjala, just walked in and has been given seat. I see the chairperson of the Governors Commission, Amos Sawyer, Dr. Amos Sawyer, is also in a building. As we look across the room, a lot of them, the Minister of Public Works is Judy Moore is here, and I also see the Minister of National Defense, as I said earlier, the Minister of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism also here. And then we look to see from the representative side, we see Representative Batikwa is here, Representative Seward Donald is also here, and a couple of them are in the building. And as they keep coming, the dignitaries, we will also say to you, yes, indeed, that the master of ceremony is Witherspoon, the relations advisor to the president. And here we are.
See you. Hello, see you.
If you just join us, you listen to UNMIL Radio coming to you live from the Centennial Pavilion, where we've come to give you live coverage of this 170th Independence Anniversary celebration here.
See, are you there? Yeah, I was asking about the coverage. Besides UNMIL Radio, that is, having this live coverage. I'm sure other community radio stations across the country are relaying us. In terms of coverage, both local and international, what can you say?
Yes, indeed. As you said earlier, there are a lot of radio stations, community radio stations that are also, I believe, relaying UNMIL Radio. But we earlier saw the Liberia Broadcasting System also here carrying this live from the Centennial Pavilion, but there are other radio stations around the country which are relaying the signal of UNMIL Radio. And so I want to say, yes, you are welcome. And through them, we can also welcome a lot of Liberians and others who are listening to this broadcast from Monrovia, especially so from the Centennial Memorial Pavilion. And outside is Hammerberg.
Yes, so can we
wish to also join him?
Yeah, can we leave you now for a while and John Augustine Hammerberg to tell us about the scene outside? Augustine?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Raymond. It's a little bit quiet out here now. Not many performances happening at the moment. As you can hear, it isn't very noisy as it was earlier on. But I'm still here right on Ashmont Street, standing directly opposite the Centennial Memorial Pavilion. And this is a very historic street. Even if you stand on this street, you look at the structures, you know that this indeed is a lot of old structures are still here, and where are looking directly at the Providence Baptist Church, where the Declaration of Independence was signed. And you look across, you also see the archive. And just whilst we were on our way, we were talking a little bit of history, but I'm privileged to have a historian with me, our own Sayer Watterson, who will also tell us what is happening here in simple Liberian English. And we will also have a little bit chit-chat with him about the history of Ashmont Street, and talk about some of the historic buildings that are here, and just to let our audience know. So say, please tell our people in Liberian English,
Augustine,
what you see happening here and what is going to happen here today.
Before he goes to the history, let him explain.
Thank you. We are here today for the July 26th. Every year we can be here, my people. So today, 2017, July 26th, is happening here now. And we are to the government square here, where they call Centennial Pavilion. The guests then all start coming inside. When we're standing here, we see plenty of them already come inside. One of the very good lawyer in our country here, Philip A.Z. Banjete, he one of the number 2 big judges in Liberia here. He already gone inside. But outside here, we see the people who are coming, standing on the sidewalk to come and watch the thing that happening here. They're not too plenty here, but they're still coming. So we cannot say they're not plenty or they're plenty. It will be plenty because they're taking time to come, and everybody, because the one of the reason too will be that the security people checking and making sure that too many people not come to the place here. But it's okay here, and that was really going on. We see the people coming inside who are the main guests. Now the place we standing, I see one old government chief person who can talk for the government called Minister of Information, Emmanuel Buya. He going inside there in front of here. I see Representative Edwin Snow. They all going inside. Now the other car that come inside here is breaking one of the 2 big judges here. Philip Banks gone inside, but we're watching to see when they open the door. So we'll see who is it that coming outside. But because the car there dark, that we can't see inside, so the person is coming outside. We can't. Okay, that's one of the judges there were on the bench. That the woman judge, they call Siana Yo, is the one that went inside now. So looking at all here that Augustine was telling you about the place here, Augustine, the history there behind the building there, the archive that you see here, standing here, what they're making with archive. A long time ago, it used to be the executive mansion. This is where the president of Liberia there used to some of them stay here in that building to be president of Liberia until they build new mansion. We're down Ashmont Street here now to what we call where the GC. The whole Ashmont Street is so that's a big GAC. The whole Ashmont Street is so you call it a historic street. This is where all the whole government of Liberia is started from. The EJ Roy building is here. But the time we're talking with you now, I see the car for the UNMIL big person in Liberia, Varisa Ray. He's now going. He's coming out of the car, and the usher they're coming for him to try to take him to his seat. So that's what the meeting that just happened here right now. Now, Augustine say I'm gonna tell you about the small history about this building here. Like I was saying, the archive here, what they call the law library now. that all executive mansion, the president from JJ Robertson, some of them stay in the place there until Barclay Town when they build a new mansion where on what they call GAC now. The Baptist church here, the big one that we're looking at here is a big one, but the small one that in front there, that the old one where that people sit down to sign paper to say Liberia is free today, what they call Declaration of Independence. They me building here where we are inside today, say it gets some history behind it. They call it Centennial Pavilion. In history, they say one time that President Thomas built a place. They used to put him each year because, you know, he's the only person who stay long. Every time when they do voting, he win, they can't put him on. One time, they were swaying or putting in office and rain beat them that were outside. So he started, he said the rain that be here will not be here anymore. That's how he put the big building here, what they call the Centennial Pavilion. That time Liberia was 100 years old now. That's what they call the Centennial. So this is where we are now in the place here. And so because of that, top man, you know, the lawman, town person who served the country. So he alone so far that he grave that the one that inside the particular government square here fine the penny right now when you see it you say you want that because the grave looking too fine. But anyway, so that's how we got the whole place. They had the whole place looking, and so we are here. The EJ Roy that you see there. So the history behind that building is when they used to be here on Ashmore Street with this small building I tell you about, that over there they used to get the police station, one kind of small jugo building they used to have there. So when in history they take EJ Roy from power, that inside that place they jail him and all the things that other things that happened until it happened and he died. So President Thomas decided to put honor on EJ Roy, that how he built that building. They call it EJ Roy. It's a big building right now. Since the war, everything's spoiled and they ain't faced here, but it's still here. And that's one of the history for this building here, or all the things that you see here. Beside this pavilion that where we are now, there's another building behind it where they get the museum. The museum now that place they can keep some old things where our people used to use. Now when you go there, the money, President Thomas chair or JJ Robert table where they say Queen from England gay the dining room table where he used to eat on, all inside there. That building before it became archive, that where everybody was the lawmaker, the judges and what they call judiciary, everybody was in that building having their office there. So it was easy. The president would just cross from this small archive here and go to that place there and have meeting with all the people. Everybody was meeting in that place. At that time, representative and senator, they were not planted the way we get there today. So Raymond, okay.
Yeah, okay, thank you. We have Boris Koris here, who wants to tell our French audience, what's happening. But it's good that you are giving us this history. Let's come to Boris back in studio.
All right.
Bonjour, vous avez. Je suis très content d'être là ce matin. Comme nous le savons tous, aujourd'hui, c'est la célébration du 170e anniversaire de l'indépendance du Libéria. Sachant que le Libéria est un pays qui est très très significatif parce que c'est l'un des premiers pays en Afrique qui a eu son indépendance. Et aujourd'hui, la fête de l'indépendance se déroule au centenaire pavillon, c'est à Ashman Street, c'est au cœur de Monrovia. Pour ceux qui viennent nous joindre, nous sommes ici au studio pour vous faire une revue de ce qui se déroule actuellement sur le terrain. Mais de ce que j'ai appris, c'est que présentement les représentants, les diplomates, tous les diplomates sont présentement au centenaire pavillon où ils se préparent pour recevoir l'invité d'honneur de la cérémonie. Il s'agit du recteur de l'université Cottington, celui-là même qui est celui qui va prendre la parole pour donner un message significatif pendant cette fête. Et on attend qu'il arrive. Je suis très heureux de vous retrouver ce matin. Restez toujours aux zones de la radio en mille. Vous aurez tout ce qui se passe là-bas à travers ma parole. Et je suis Boris. On retrouve Isabelle pour continuer la suite.
Merci, Boris. So let's go back to to the Centennial Pavilion and go in the hall now and speak to Seyu and Eva.
Yes, Raymond, thank you so much. We stay here in the main hall where the program is going to take place. We stay waiting. As soon as the president comes in here, this program begins. Right now, let me just let you know that a doyen of the diplomatic corps, the Guinean ambassador, Dori, is also here in the building. And as we look across and we look at the master of ceremony, who is the relations advisor to the president of Liberia with a spoon, in a moment as he looks through the building and even at the aisle and watching the main entrance, that could mean that any time he will announce the arrival of any special guest in this place. And so that goes on. And Eva earlier told you about the choir. A good number of them. I learned there should have been 100 voice choir here, but somebody told me that 85, and so they have not made up the 100 yet. But indeed, yes, indeed, they are here. The members of the religious community are present in this occasion. I see.
What about the business community?
Carpet is here. Business community, yes, they're also here, but sometimes you cannot capture all of them. In fact, I need to mention that the ambassadorial level, we see a lot of ambassadors present in this hall. There are so many, almost all of the countries that are present in Liberia. The ambassadors or Chargé Affairs are here to attend this occasion today. If I try to name one, I have to name all of them.
Yeah, don't bother.
A lot of them are here, Raymond.
Okay. All right. So say you, before the program starts, we know the arrival of the president means that the program will start. Let's come back to the studio and go to Grand Bassa, Bon County, and Lofa briefly so that they can tell our people in those counties, what's happening at the Centennial Pavilion. So we'll come back to studio. James.
Da adiga maremone so bangeti onore mosinyen oni so ngri ka benyo ka chenkinye o da bida tibe wana mapeyi pa obeni ngri zon planansiye wana mande kuyobdi ke debeni ngri mo tibe wa mo mande wani mande kanyo zon pla ke wa po ngri tibe wana ma mazindo je be okema kwanto be abie ni mande nwenwe ke wajida bidade zombe wajia we atinye wana buruna ke omati biake bo point be ake buru ka nyina join ke buru nyina join moe we atinye moso rado ni made en ka juaro nyebe wasu ankare adibo yazon wadan Grand Bassa kante wani made ni ka juaro nyebe ma lo nyebe ma sano nyebe ke wani mande deke ke wa nyuma da bida of fleo tibe wa nyuma fleo ke wa joima onyene amanda bida wo swen we atinye onwe ke wara arakpe be swen sembo amru onyene join amanda bida swen bo sona babo be ma be ajia be amiantio be akepi pa we pwe da bida ona mapi pa oje July 26 ke ti sing osie ni amo we be ake jaboga we ade da bida pa piye o we ni ndi ani asenkwen oje president da bida da sing amo we
okay
ke ara bonzo baremo.
All right, let's go to Bon County.
Yang kai kaka akberga ka woto kwai angoro kberga ke ro wo gwa de Bon County de plapo loi takbar ga ho kwamura ka kweka ku kana bra ka ta da bra ku ka ta de ga lu ne ga pona plan mai na ba ku kana ranga kwa de ga go mra ngoti ka no kwa ba ga de tama kwa da lo bra de mon mi bu nga hang lu no la bra loi ngi nu ne pona plan na ku ka hu ku mai kana bra de mon ranga de ga robin ne nga o sane tai da nga de create de ga na no de ga noi ga de ngwa tama de ka kwa ba mon ge da ba de hin na de ga me pok pai ke la bra loi ngu ha ba ku go noi ka a loi de ku ka boy wa fru ka fru ku ni ku ke kwa ba kwe ne kwa lu ni ma hu ku ka na hi ku ho ye ma pong ge go mre nya ba nga ba lo ko bre de mon da ba ka a pa da ba ga bring ko to ni da ba ga lu ne ku pona me nga ke po pa ha ke ko ba ga di to ku mo ka yang kwa he ku pona pe kwa gbe ngai kwe ga me ka de ga pa ka nya ba to ne se ka ke po pu ge ba ka ga be ka po ka gu la kwa ka nga ya sa pona ni ba ga lu ne ku pona plana to ne se de me ya sa kumre
na lo magitie ga hoso go bo maka ga debe go bo ga wo maka ka ha veto ada debe na ena setana pavele ga ha ganna bo bo se ya wena pele na uwa tena beteve ga hulu ni ate aka zuma ri wena ba na ena ngu setie ta de ba nu ba ha ba ha gite ta de leze ga ngeni na masafuli ni ma de bo so ga ma wuya ga sa na ha de ma be na ina to ga da zini bobala le da foto hin da no ni yese ko to go mele ga ge ga bana kana ni sa ha de ma ba etori ya na ma ga we awito fata ne pe adal ha ma to sisi no ha du kluru.
Okay, Boris. Yes, describe for us, what's happening at the Centennial Pavilion before we go back to see you and the rest of the crew.
Merci Raymond. Et pour encore vous rappeler, je vous disais qu'aujourd'hui, c'est un jour très significatif pour ce pays parce que nous célébrons le 170e anniversaire de l'indépendance du Libéria. Et pendant que je vous parle, le centenaire, le pavillon est complètement rempli et les invités arrivent. Il y a des diplomates, c'est-à-dire des pays, les ambassadeurs des pays qui sont ici à Monrovia. Ces gens sont là, ces personnalités sont là pour prendre part à cette fête. Mais pendant ce temps, on attend toujours l'arrivée de la présidente Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Dès qu'elle arrive, alors le programme doit commencer. Et je vous ai rappelé que l'invité d'honneur à cette fête, c'est le recteur de l'université Cotton University qui est située dans la région des Bons. C'est lui qui est le grand porte-parole, celui qui doit s'adresser aux invités. Mais pendant ce temps, en dehors même de la rue de Asman Street, la rue est remplie, les invités commencent à venir, les citoyens arrivent pour prendre part à cette fête. Et rappelons que aujourd'hui nous sommes très contents, c'est le 170e anniversaire juillet 1847, le 26 juillet, bien sûr, c'est un jour qui est très, très, très important dans cette histoire. On retrouve Raymond Zabé pour la suite.
Merci, Boris. Let's go back to Ashman Street, Hausa first to Augustine Hammerberg and Sarah Watterson. Augustine, are you there?
Yeah, I'm right here, Raymond.
Yeah,
Thank
go
you
ahead.
very much. We just witnessed the arrival of the Vice President of Liberia, Ambassador Joseph Boakai. Just arrived a few minutes ago. And according to protocol, now that the Vice President has arrived, we are hoping that the next person that will be arriving will be the President of Liberia, Her Excellency President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. And I think the President has arrived because I'm seeing the escort car just passing us on Ashman Street. As you know, the major streets of Monrovia are blocked right now. Yes, indeed, escort one. Once escort one is here, that confirms the arrival of the president. And so the president of Liberia has just arrived here at the Centennial Pavilion, just outside her convoy. The presidential car is trying to make its way here at the pavilion. And so we're waiting to see the escort one just pass us going down towards the Central Bank of Liberia building. And here comes the presidential car just coming towards us, driving slowly, heavily protected by security officials here. And they are protecting the president's car as she makes her way to the entrance of the Centennial Pavilion, heavily guided by EPS officers. And so so with that, as soon as the president enters, you know that the program will commence here at the Centennial Pavilion. And so let me just give you some background here just before we go into the hall, because we know that there will still be some adjustment as the president, because the president hasn't stepped out of a vehicle yet.
Yeah, but
so that means
Augustine,
that
you have to be
you see
brief.
the president here with some family.
Yeah, Augustine?
So, I think they are family members of the president.
Yes, that the president's sister, Aunt Jeanette, and her husband is behind her, Ambassador Estrella Bernard, former Minister of Youth and Sports. And the children, I think they are grandchildren and so, and they're making their way inside there. The car is still there. The president, I think the president already started going in now. So that the work going on here, none of my people, the president don't count. Augustine Hammerberg tell you, the people get here that by 11 o'clock the program is supposed to start. Not quite 11 yet, getting on to 11. So as soon as the president go inside there now, the program will start. So let's continue with Augustine.
No, we have to go in now. We have to leave you and Augustine and enter the hall now and connect with Eva and Seitikwa.
Okay,
thank you. Thank you so much, Raymond. Yes, as you guys already said, the president of Liberia, She has been announced, and everyone is on his or her feet as the president marches in and greeting members of the House of Representatives, members of the Senate, and other government officials here. And she goes strictly to her seat. She just shook the hand of the Vice President of Liberia, Joseph Nyamabwakai. And the national anthem has been played. And then now I see the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Emmanuel Nukwe, on the right of the President. And I also see the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia, Francis Kokbo, is also on the right of the Speaker, Emmanuel Nukwe. And it goes on, and members of the bench, I see Sienna Yu, Associate Justice, I see Philip Asa Banks, I see Associate Justice James Eto Wolokoli. They are all here, and the Liberians are singing a song while the brass band, the AFF brass band, plays the national anthem of Liberia. And I see Representative Muna Pennon is just before me, and I see also Representative Depo Brown from Grand Crook County, and a good number of the representatives are here. So let's see also the national anthem. The first and second stanzas are being sung. So we look up to see the choir also sing the song, and everyone is just in a very happy mood here at the September Pavilion. Wherever you are, this is Liberia celebrating her 170th independence anniversary in this country. And usually it rains a lot on this day, although it was raining this morning, but the rain has ceased, and this occasion is about to start because it was earlier announced that it would start at 11 o'clock, and as at look at unofficial time, we have 4 more minutes to 11 o'clock, and so I believe they will start on time. Needless to even mention that will start before 11 o'clock, but the national anthem is now being played. Right after that, the master of ceremony, who is with his phone, the advisor, relations advisor to the president, will officially commence on this occasion.
You may have your seats. Celebration in observance of the 170th Independence Anniversary of the Republic of Liberia, Centennial Memorial Pavilion, Monrovia, Montserrat County, Wednesday, July 26, 2017 at 11 o'clock ante-meridian. We'll ask all of us to join in the singing to be led by the choir, the hymn, Praise Him, Praise Him. Let us all stand.
Sing, oh,
You may be seated. We invite Reverend Sando E. Townsend, religious advisor to the President, for the invocation.
As we celebrate this Independence Day and the many activities that goes along with it, I ask you to join me as I borrowed from a few verses of King David, Psalm 124, 1 to 6, and it reads, "If the Lord had not been on our side, let Israel say, if the Lord had not been on our side when men attacked us, when their anger flared against us, they would have swallowed us alive. The flood would have engulfed us. The torrent would have swept over us. The raging waters would have swept us away. Praise be the Lord, who has not let us be torn by the teeth." The words of the Lord. Let us pray. Father, we just want to bless you. We give you the glory and honor as we celebrate another independence. We thank you for this occasion. We thank you, Heavenly Father, that you have not allowed our enemies to tear us apart, but you have kept us strong and standing again. We thank you for your faithfulness, your goodness towards us as a nation, as a people. We thank you for this government and its citizens. We thank you for all you've done and you will continue to do. We bless you now. We come committing this portion of this service into your care. We pray, Heavenly Father, that you will be with us. May all that we do and say here be done to your glory and honor, and may your name be glorified in all that we do. In Jesus' mighty name we pray with thanksgiving. Amen.
Welcome statement by the Honorable Florence Brandy, Superintendent, Montserrat County.
Your Excellency, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, President of the Republic of Liberia, Honorable Joseph Yiman Boyka Sr., Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, Honorable J. Emmanuel Nukwe, Speaker and Honorable Members of the House of Representatives, Honorable Ahmad Zuru Jala, President Pro Tem and Honorable Members of the House of Senate, His Honor Justice Francis S. Copper, Senior, Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia, and members of the Associate Justices of the Supreme Court, Dr. Armand Brown, National Orator, July 26, Independence 2017, the Dean and members of the Cabinet, the Doyen and members of the Diplomatic Corps and Consular Corps, the Special Representative of the Secretary General of the United Nations, and heads of international organizations, heads of political parties, Chief Zanzan Kabat and members of the Traditional Council, special guests visiting with us, the President and members of the Council of Churches, the Chief Imam and members of the Muslim Council of Liberia, the business community, the President and members of the banking institutions of Liberia, members of the Fourth Estate, youth leaders, women organizations, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, let me extend our appreciation for selecting Montserrat County to host this 170th independence of our country, Liberia. This celebration marks the last of your leadership as President of the Republic of Liberia. As we celebrate our national independence with the theme Sustaining the Peace, let us firstly thank the Almighty God for bringing us this far, and also for the 14 years of peace that we enjoyed as a nation. Madam President, sustaining this peace after 14 years of civil war, as the first female president of Africa and the first female chairman of ECOWAS, was one of your greatest achievements of your presidency, as you have worked locally with cross-sections of the populace from diverse backgrounds, as well as our international partners, to keep our country safe. This peaceful environment, under your leadership, Your Excellency, has enabled you to immensely achieve your developmental agenda, such as modern infrastructures, improved health care, the provision of water and electrification, youth and women empowerment, improvement in civil service salaries, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, and most importantly, security, in which we saw UNMIL turn over the security of the state to our national security. This peaceful and stable environment has also improved the lives of most Liberians. Madam President, looking back 12 years of your presidency, and from where we have come, we want to wholeheartedly appreciate you and thank God for all your achievements across Liberia and the rest of the world. As the saying goes, if we do not remember the past and appreciate the present, we will never see the future that we hope for. Now, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the peace-loving people of this great county, where the Declaration of Independence was signed 170 years ago, which sits the seat of national government and hosts over 50% of the country's population. It is indeed the melting pot of Liberia and also the county of opportunities. It is my honor as Superintendent and Chief Executive Officer of this great county to welcome you to this national celebration of our 170th Independence celebration with the theme Sustaining the Peace. May the Almighty God bless this nation and preserve the peace. Thank you very much.
Secretary of Monrovia County, Madam Brandy. Back to the podium.
Miss Eliza Scott, a student of the School of Crime System, will read the Independence Day Proclamation. We'd like to invite Miss Scott.
The reading of the Independence Day Proclamation by the President is going to be done by Ms. Alika Scott, student of the School of Crime System. Oh, wow, she's been elevated. So short.
A proclamation by the President. Whereas God in His infinite goodness and mercy has blessed the work of the minds, hearts, and hands of the people of the Republic of Liberia from July 1847, when this nation was declared a free, sovereign, and independent state, and from thence through the years of our national life, manifold and varied have been the experiences of the nation and its people, who through it all have been able to forge their way by dint of perseverance, devotion, and courage. And whereas, after due deliberations of the future of the settlements and facing colonial challenges and threats, the Founding Fathers did publish the world that historic and immortal instrument known as the Declaration of Independence, by which the Commonwealth of Liberia became and was presented to the Committee of Nations as a free, sovereign, and independent state. thereby warding off encroachment from any colonial power and becoming the first African independent republic. And whereas it is meet, right, and our binding duty in grateful recognitions of the blessings and miraculous deliverance which His almighty hand has extended to us as a nation and people, although we have been most unworthy of them, to give thanks, adoration, and praise unto Him for saving the state. The day of July each year is set aside as a public holiday to be appropriately celebrated as Independence Day. And whereas the official commemoration of the day will be held in Monrovia County under the theme Sustaining the Peace. Now, therefore, I, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, President of the Republic of Liberia, by virtue of the authority in me vested by the laws of the land, do hereby declare and proclaim Wednesday, July 26, 2017 as Independence Day to be observed throughout the Republic of Liberia as a national holiday, and do call upon all citizens of this republic and foreign residents within our borders to observe the same as such, and require that all government offices and business houses be closed on this day from 6 o'clock ante-meridian to 6 o'clock post-meridian. Further, I invite and request all prelates, priests, deacons, evangelists, imams, elders, and other members of the sacerdotal order, regardless of religious creeds, to gather together with one purpose in their respective places of worship in each city, town, village, hamlet, home, especially on Friday, July 21st, and Sunday, July 23rd, 2017, and offer thanks and praises to God for His blessings showered upon us in the past and present times, and beseech Him for His continuing goodness and mercy toward
Thomas, Timothy Thomas, one of the great musicians of Liberia. He's there. Now let's join the choir right now. And the choir today has been directed by another fellow who will get his name later on.
Glory
Beautiful song there, and the song entitled "And the Glory of the Lord" was led by Woods.
We want to thank the Mass Choir for such a wonderful rendition. Now we will call on Jala Mulba Wu Kennedy Jr., who will be introducing the national orator. He's a student of the Mary Lorraine Brown School of Excellence.
All right, a student from the Liberia School of Excellence is going to introduce
our orator for the 170th anniversary celebration of the Republic of Liberia was born on 11th March 1965 in Bangabon County unto the union of the late Most Reverend George Daniel Brown and Clavender Rayleigh Brown. His parents come from Louisiana, Sando County, and Garawe, Grand Cru County, Liberia. He is married to Chokon Lisa Chia and has 3 children, Hermelisa Inquin, Hermeline Yonde, and Herman Bisia II. He obtained high school diploma from St. Patrick's, Monrovia. He later matriculated to the Cottington University College in Swakoko, Bon County, where he obtained a Bachelor of Arts in Theology, BATH, with cum laude in 1986, and a certificate in Biblical History from St. George College, Jerusalem, Israel, in May 1987. His eagerness to acquire higher education led him to England, where he earned a bachelor's degree from King's College, London in 1990, and Doctor of Philosophy degree in Theology from the University of London. He became the first clergyman from the Episcopal Church of Liberia to earn a doctorate degree in theology. He first served as Assistant Director for Christian Education, Episcopal Church of Liberia, and chaplain at Bromley Mission School, Virginia, Curate Grace Church, Clay Ashland, Liberia, in 1987. From 1990 to 1994, he served as lecturer at Simon of Cyrene Theological Institute, London, United Kingdom. And then in 1994 to 1996, he was promoted to Dean, Simon of Cyrene Theological Institute, London, the United Kingdom. From 1996 to 2001, he served as the Archbishop's advisor on ecumenical and Anglican communal affairs in London. From 2001 to 2004, He again served as the Archbishop of Canterbury's senior advisor for Anglican communal affairs. Enthusiastic about a new dawn in Liberia, he returned home to serve as vicar of the Episcopal Chapel of St. George's Chapel, Cardwell, and Grace Church, Clay Ashland, from 2005 to 2008. After several university lectureships and the deanship of the School of Theology at the School of Graduate and Professional Studies, Cottington University, he became the Vice President for Academic Affairs at the African Methodist Episcopal University in Monrovia from 2008 to 2010. From 2010 to 2016, he served as Dean of Trinity Cathedral in Monrovia, Liberia, and appointed by the President of the Republic of Liberia as Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Liberia Petroleum Refining Company from 2012 to 2016. He is currently the President of Cottington University and known there as Dr. B. He is the author of 7 books and several publications. Some of his works include Theological Anthropology, a dialectic study of the African and liberation traditions, Passion for Critique, Essays in honor of J.F. Lashley, 50 Things Your Pastor Forgot to Tell You About God, the Bible, and You, Grasshoppers No Longer, Critical Essays on Western Cultural History, Theology and Philosophy, and African Traditional Theology, a Political Critique. Madam President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure and honor to present to you our orator, Dr. Herman B. Brown. I thank you.
All right, the introduction of the...
Let us all stand and receive our national orator for the day.
And the student, Jala Molba Wood Kennedy Jr., who introduced the orator. The orator now moves to the podium. Please be seated.
Your Excellency, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, President of the Republic of Liberia, Honorable Vice President, Mr. Speaker, and members of the House of Representatives, Mr. President pro tempore, and members of the Liberian Senate, officials of government, Your Excellency, the Doyen and members of the Diplomatic Corps, the Special Representative of the Secretary General of the United Nations and heads of international organizations, members of the clergy and religious communities, traditional chiefs and elders, my fellow citizens, good morning. Oh, good morning. Today we celebrate a special chapter in the life of our nation. 170 years of existence as a free and sovereign state. It represents an extraordinary moment for my family, for me to have been selected by you, Madam President, from among many eminently suitable for the task. We are deeply grateful and thank you. Today represents, in this year of national elections and amidst an already raucous political contest, a most public and rare opportunity for us all to pause and express our appreciation, deep and sincere for the work of those who lead us. Led by Your Excellency, Madam, whilst looking forward to that of the next. This is an occasion that we should seize to thank the familiar, the known, and the tried, whilst in good faith anxiously await to welcome the unfamiliar, the unknown, and the untested. Today is also primarily a day we set aside in our national life to look beyond government and her leaders, beyond politics and tribe, beyond the arrogance of creed or gender, beyond the bread and butter issues of the day and the pathology of our daily lives, to something bigger, greater, and higher than our individuals' lives. It is our country's cause. With hearts and hands, our country's cause defending, we meet the foe with unpretending valor. When we sing, truly sing, not just with our lips, but from within our souls, the stirring words of our national anthem, we do not commit merely to a song. Do we not also commit ourselves to lay aside every distracting loyalty, every vow or bond, and work together, even in the face of clear and present danger, to defend without pretense our country's cause? So without pretense, let me lay bare some fundamentals before I endeavor to reflect on what sustaining the peace might entail. It is in our country's cause, our national interest, to secure the peace we now enjoy. And peace not just for its own sake, but so that we might preserve our fundamental civil liberties, where our freedoms of democracy can flourish, where our entitlement to justice can be more real than virtual, where our pursuit of happiness can be more easily realized, and where a wholesome, functioning, diverse society in which all of us feel we belong can be more realistically brought within our grasp. We need to see and understand that to this we are closer now than we have ever been. Don't get me wrong, it certainly may not feel so, but it appears so. We have moved a long way from fighting each other to working with each other. We have moved from physically attacking each other to attacking the political interests of the other, undoing perhaps what matters most to them. And when we shift from the person to the person's political, social, or economic interests, we shift the terms of engagement one notch towards civility. For many years, we have avoided public discussions about our inequalities and social antipathies, gender, class, ethnicity, literacy, altogether. Not anymore. Now we are talking about them. They have entered the mainstream of public discourse and often finding ways to address them. We no longer pretend that these are minor issues facing our society. Neither are we particularly quiet about them. This is healthy. And I believe that only in maintaining this peace can solutions with any chance of permanence be found. The sustainable nature of the peace will rest in the way we live, talk, walk, and treat each other, and so forge the bonds of unity that the interest of one will lie squarely and indistinguishably within the interest of the other. In this way, I believe that my self-interest is redefined less digitally and made so connected with yours that peace is more likely sustained. Now, I am aware that I run the risk of being likened to one who will miss an opportunity to scold the government and exalt the opposition bloc. I run the risk. I run the risk of being likened to yet another pastor, missing an opportunity on one hand to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ as the only way to save this country, and on the other missing the chance to lambast religious leaders for not being as forthright or as clear as we would like them to be in their stance against our social evils. I'm mindful that I run the risk of being likened to one whose interests are so tied to the educated elite that I fail to describe in miserable detail the frustrations of the young or the anxieties of the struggling. I may even be accused of failing at this moment to highlight issues affecting the cause of women, and instead squandering it in pursuit of the dense business of seeking analytical clarity on issues affecting our common life. I take responsibility for all of this and say that far from attempting to sum up the sentiments of my fellow citizens on this day and regurgitate them for the arousal of my audience, I stand here to speak my mind. My mind. On what this country needs to move, not timidly, but boldly into a glorious future. A future that awaits the good, the bad, and the ugly in each of us. What must we do to embrace this future? What path must we take in order to enjoy the dividends we yield from the peace we have so far sustained? What must we place in the foreground to enter this future, conscious of the background of a conflictual past and mindful of the playground of a turbulent present? Question: which foot must we place forward, and what baggage must we leave behind if we must win the race of national progress and drink from the fountain of economic opportunities, national prosperity, and a wholesome public life? Answer: I do not know. But what I do know is that any reasonably good answer will need to address at least 3 clusters of concerns that may not now seem important to us, but will weigh upon us heavily in the near future if ignored. If we must live out in private and public, teach and preach the basic values we wish to see in our children, then we ourselves as adults must return to basic values of respect for ourselves, for women, and for constituted authority. Fairness in our dealings with others, integrity when no one is looking, and duty as a self-imposed obligation to serve the common good. The second cluster of issues is bluntly this: we must elevate the terms and tenor of our public discourse. We should be less about seat and salary in the Senate and more about service and sacrifice to our country. Less about reputation and prestige and more about responsibility and impact. And we must learn all over again a respect for the truth in public space. You may gossip and misinform in private, but in public discourse, you have a greater responsibility. The third cluster is equally straightforward. We must prepare better our best minds and hands in this country for a brighter future. A future bright with competition and desperately needful of the best acumen and skill this country can muster. We need more attention to the form and character of our system of education, yes, but more precisely to the way we learn and perforce the way we educate. Now, the peace we enjoy, it is not one that came easily, not without tears and agony, but with our own blood, and I dare say the blood of strangers. With gratitude, we must, all of us who struggle to sustain this peace in our places of life and work, now vow to enhance this precious gift, forged by the efforts of men and women and established by the will of God. We must keep it not just for the good of our children, but for our neighbors also, many of whom sacrificed their peace for ours. This administration presided over this peace for more than a decade, and for this we must be thankful. How many of us will ever forget the enormous threat that the Ebola virus posed to this country and its inhabitants? And there were always two big questions looming. How bad is it going to get? And when will it end? And at the height of that epidemic, the official prediction of the World Health Organization that with the existing trends, Ebola cases would rise to nearly 1.3 million in the region. And even in the wake of interventions, at least 21,000 cases would emerge in Liberia alone before January 2015. This government studied the numbers and then looked at her people. The WHO saw the circumstances that were facing us. But you, Madam President, you and your government saw the resolve that God had placed in us. And you took the position that the resilience of your people was the only statistic that mattered, and announced publicly that the WHO's calculation was wrong and that their prediction would not come to pass. Madam President, this was an occasion when the courage of your government was met with the collective commitment of your people, and inspired by your leadership, under God, we succeeded. we salute you. And at this stage, since I got the floor, I'm going to ask everybody to stand. Except, of course, Madam President and her officials, if you want to sit with her. And let us applaud. Thank you. Please sit. Please sit. And I do this because it is easy to forget the experience through time, over time. It becomes a very little moment in your mind, but tragically important if we forget it. I want to commend, yes, this government, especially again you, Madam President, not just for the freedom of the press, for that is a constitutional liberty guaranteed to citizens of a republic, but the level of press freedom that you have allowed under this regime. Not only is it recent and unusual, but I have observed over the years that even the most impertinent, vociferous, guttural, and bellicose criticism by the print, audio, and social media of both the actions and policies of this government and yourself were greeted with an institutional restraint and personal tolerance befitting a leadership determined to give back to the people their voice. I can only hope that the next administration does not discover this gift as a Trojan horse. There is much more to be grateful for, and principal in my view are the ethnic neutrality in the administration of our judicial system, our enhancement of our international standing and influence on the world stage, yes, our roads, the mainstreaming of gender issues, the emergence of integrity institutions, and let me say especially the little-known Board of Tax Appeal, signaling this government's commitment to fairer taxation and the restoration of our credit worthiness in the waiver of our entire national debt. Now, few months from now, the table will turn. It will be important for whosoever takes on the baton from this administration to be conscious that some done, some not done. Do I think we have fought well the fight against corruption? Probably. But I also think that we can do more about the perception that it is on the rise. Is our health system adequate? Probably not. But we grow confident daily that this is so not for lack of knowledge or skill, but resources and the allocation thereof. I urge more attention to be given to the most vulnerable, whose very survival, the unborn, depend almost entirely on the availability and quality of maternal services we offer women within our borders. Do we still see the seasonal inaccessibility of our roads, especially in the southeast? Yes, a huge challenge. But who cannot be heartened by news of negotiations on the way and nearing completion to bring much needed relief, particularly to this region? And we should not relent in our efforts here with our international partners. Are our eyes open enough to see the level of unemployment and the simmering frustration amongst the youth? And the need for reconciliation, political, economic, and social? Yes. And this is why we believe it will be important for whosoever wins the national elections to make clear the connection between our employment and reconciliation needs, our development needs, and the case for incorporating more constructively the Liberian diaspora into our national body politic. So what should help us sustain this peace in order to enjoy the development we deserve? My fellow Liberians, we must first return to the fundamentals of family values. Values that nurture our personal character and form our basic disposition towards each other. Let's go back to basics. Respect, justice, honesty, and duty are values, whether divinely commanded or socially approved, that any citizenry should possess and cultivate if their society is to function wholesomely. In every home or family, in every school or playground, in every church or mosque, in every institution or workplace, these should be demonstrated and demanded of all. Respect for authority begins at home with parents and guardians. In life, we are all under authority. Law and order should be the rhythm of family life that enables relationships and trust to be built, where boundaries are established and the common good is indistinguishable from the upholding of this order. Just in case no one has ever told us, my fellow Liberians, we suffer a great deal from the lack of self-restraint. On many occasions, we seek to be an exception to lay down procedures, an exception to rules, an exception to law and officers of the law. By the time we became teenagers, treating others fairly was something that came by instinct and no longer by instruction. It was something that would shock us if we didn't see it happening elsewhere, and likely to draw a comment. I distinctly remember my mother retorting to my insinuation that she was taking sides with a stranger in settling a quarrel between us. "No, Herman," she said, "I'm not taking side with her. I'm on justice side." I'll never forget that. You see, fairness was not just a celebrated virtue in my family, it was more of a cause. One went out of his way simply to show himself or herself to be fair. And the parents were quick to acknowledge that. Values. Minding your own business and taking your hands off other people's property were basic expectations. Sharing, helping, and giving back something of yourself to others for the benefit of someone other than yourself was fundamental to home training. So what is my point? Discipline. I believe that we should teach this to our children diligently and expect these from ourselves. Today, the level of dishonesty, duplicity, and double standards we now see in our society doesn't allow anyone to believe anyone anymore about anything. One's word can no longer be trusted. Promises are rarely kept. Debts are never paid. Our self-pay attitude has simply spiraled out of control. And why? Because they had a country looking. This is a slide away from civility, when our sense of honor or shame has little or no bearing on our commitments to each other. Perhaps this is why many of us have so little regard for our country's honor, so little regard for our country's laws and officers of the public peace. We must return to the point where one's sense of shame is strong enough to set boundaries to his own behavior. I would even say to make one's behavior predictable. We must return to saying what one means and meaning what one says. We must return to the notion that it is okay not to be liked, to reward sacrifice, to celebrate humility, to live with little and give much, to be poor in things and rich in soul, to seek to live a quiet but serviceable life. Second, we must watch how we discuss issues of public and national concern in the public space.